Sock Passe, what's up, y'all? We're back at the Q4 Mastermind event with Miss Kelly Castor. How you doing?
Hello. Thank you.
You just tore down the stage a few minutes ago.
I appreciate that.
Let the people know what you just spoke about.
Sure. My name is Kelly Castor of Castor Law. I do personal injury, family law, and estate planning. So today I had the opportunity to talk about estate planning and how it is that people can preserve their legacy through estate planning and probate.
So I heard you talking about trust and wills, irrevocable,
Correct.
revocable. Tell us
Yes.
why it's so important to have those documents.
Yes. So even before that, I like to talk about life planning and ensuring that people have the two documents as well, the power of attorney and also a living will, which is your advance directive. Those documents are extremely important for people to have because of the fact that if something happens and you become incapacitated, we want to make sure that you have documents in place that allow your family to act as if you're still alive. You are alive, but you're incapacitated, right?
Right.
So as if you were able to make those decisions yourself. And
Gotcha.
then we also talked about the estate planning, which is what happens upon your death, right? And how it is that those documents now step in and allow you to dictate what happens to your assets upon your death.
Got you.
So listening to your presentation, you mentioned a few times, not everyone needs a trust.
Yeah.
Because on Instagram, obviously, social media, everyone is like,
Yes.
get a trust.
Yes.
But that's a key statement that you said.
Yes.
And explain that.
Okay, so first, everyone is selling something, and the more that we create a need for something, the more that people desire things. It's supply and demand, right? It's marketing. It's how we present things. So what happens is a trust, though, can easily cost you, $5,000 to $10,000 to prepare, right? If you find someone a little cheaper, maybe it could be $4,000, right? They create the trust and then they fund the trust, right? But what I find is that online, a lot of people are talking about these trusts without taking a full, in-depth look at what it is that each person has. And every person doesn't have assets that requires a trust. Some people are able to get away once they start talking to you about their family structure and how they only intend to leave it to their Class A beneficiaries, which are their children or their parents. It's
Right.
people above you and below you, your grandkids,
Right.
etc. There is no tax. So what is this tax, this mythical tax that there is no tax. Stop letting these people sell you this idea that there's a tax that you need to protect yourself from. It's
Okay.
called fill out a tax waiver, and then you won't even have to pay the tax anyway.
Bars.
Got you.
Right?
It is
I
that
got you.
simple.
It's just that
That's
simple.
simple. Got
So
it.
why am I paying you $5,000 out of my hard-worked money while I'm alive to handle something when my children can just fill out a form and get that same asset later? That's $5,000 I could apply to whatever. I don't know, talk to one of those other guys about flipping it.
Got
right?
you. I heard you, and correct me if I'm wrong, will overage?
Pour over will.
Pour over. Can you explain that?
Sure.
And say it again?
Yes, it's a pour over will.
Okay.
So if you get a trust, you still need a pour over will, like you pour over will. So what that means is a will is a document that allows you to pass assets to your beneficiary, right? And people typically go the trust route because they don't want to go through the probate process. They want it to be private. They want their assets, whatever it is that they have, to go directly to their beneficiaries without having to go through the probate process. What happens is a trust is only valid for the assets that are within that trust, right? So it has to be funded. I kind of mentioned this before, but things
Right.
have to already be in this entity. And if you don't put items in the entity, you still have to go through the probate process. So that means that you need a will in place
Right.
to be a catch-all to then pour into the trust.
The trust,
So it's
okay.
a pour over will. It's basically saying whatever I have that I didn't get to fund my trust with, I now want to go ahead and all those assets to pour into my trust.
Wow.
So it's basically, like the trust is more like an umbrella, and then you have everything else underneath.
I would call it the bucket.
The bucket, correct.
The trust is the bucket.
Got it. Okay.
And now the will is going to be the umbrella to share
Got
it
it.
into the bucket.
Wow.
It's pouring it into the bucket.
Good
Very
analysis.
knowledgeable, very
knowledgeable.
powerful information. Let people know where they can find you to get more. Oh, before I say that, you say that, how did you know Queen Ella?
Oh,
How'd you guys meet?
Where did I meet Queen Ella? I don't know the first place that I met Queen Ella, but I know that she's a powerful force, and once you meet her,
Awesome.
there's just no way
Yes.
to unknow that
Absolutely.
force, right?
Absolutely.
And she's doing such beautiful things by getting people into this space. But it had to have been, I think, like 5 years ago or so.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Oh, wow.
we keep in touch,
Good.
cheer each other on.
Okay.
I'm so proud of her and everything that she's done, and
Yes.
I'm so excited about this and the fact that people are able to get that
Correct.
education. But last year, I was in the audience learning this information, and
Wow.
she said to me, "You're coming on stage next year, and you're going to let people know about estate planning." I said, "No problem. I got
Wow.
you."
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let people know where they can check you out.
Sure. Kelly Castor, callcastor.com. That's CALLCASTOR.com, and also at callcastor on Instagram.
All right. There you heard.
There you go.
Team Sock by Say.
We
We
Sock
out.
by Say.
All right. No doubt.